Hello world, Stephen Michael Zach here, and today we're taking a look at the Molus X100. This is the Zhiyun 100 watt light. Now, I did buy the base model here, and the base model will cost you $250 at the time of the recording of this video, and I did buy this with my own money, so these are going to be my own brutal and honest opinions as always. So let's take a look at what comes inside the box. My own brutal and honest opinions as always. This is new to me. Okay, flipping open the box, there is no case in the base model. You just get this foam. You'll get a little cleaning cloth. You'll get the power bank here with a barrel connection, a little bag here, all these little warranty and service cards. You'll get the power plug with a nice little bit of Velcro, and it is a computer plug. And you will get the unit itself and the dish. Build quality, it is mostly thick plastic. You do have a hard on-off button. You have, again, some cheap knobs that are clicky and switchy. They are fine. You can see the fan in there. We'll peel this back to reveal the gimbal screen. And again, we're going to carefully, you have a nice gimbal screen here. Then in the side here, again, with another warning, we'll peel this sticker off. Again, here you have, in this little compartment, you will want to take an Allen wrench and remove that. But in here, if you can get into it, is the extra battery that this comes with. Now, I didn't buy the battery because it only lasts 30 minutes, but you can get an additional battery, and the pins are in here. Let's see if I can actually open this. So we'll go ahead and pop this open, and you can see that this is where the pins go. Now, I will try to kind of squish this back, and it is a bit impossible to get back into place. There we go. So there you go. And yeah. Then here you've got your CCT, and it does, you got your CCT, your on button here. Again, you can see that once you pop this out, it does not go back. And I think we'll peel this away. I think there's one more port here. We'll peel that away. No, that is just a sticker. So there you go, you do have a 1/4-20 mount here and a 1/4-20 mount there. Okay, so let's take a look at the controls here. I do have this plugged into the wall. Hopefully the port is not going to be a problem here, but you hold the button on and it turns on. And there you go. And this is exactly like the controls here are exactly like the 60 version. You can check it out right there. But let's take a look at the controls. Now you do have your quick controls here. You have your 0, 50, and 100. And of course you can jump from 5600 to 2700 to 5500. Again, there is no 44,000 Kelvin or 43,000 or 42,000. So there you go. Pretty much the same here. Now let's go ahead and hold in both buttons. And yes, you do get a studio mode. I can already feel how hot this is, even at 50%. We'll go ahead and select this. And let's go to 100%. This thing is super duper bright. So there you go. Okay, so here is the beam with the dish on. And as you can see, giant hotspot, a ring change here. Let's go ahead. And again, you're getting a little bit of additional ringing on the outside. All in all, not bad though. It works. And here we are with the dish off. And let me go back to the 2700 Kelvin that we were at. And again, it has some okay fall off. Not really seeing any major ringing on the ends there. So that's pretty good. And again, when you get close, again, you are getting a little bit of multiple shadowing, but it's actually not too bad. So there you go. Let's take a look at some readings. Okay, so here we are. This has been running for about a half an hour, 40 minutes, and I have the softbox here on now. The fan is spinning, So you have that. Now we are going to take this little heat thermal camera and we're going to get some readings here to see just how hot this is getting. Now I did include the softbox and the grid on here. It is very warm to the touch. The top is not bad. It's a little warm here. The closer I get to the front, the hotter it is. But first, let's take a little reading from the back here. And as we can see, we are at like about 50 degrees Celsius. And let's go around to the side. Popping around to the side where the camera actually meets the metal ring here, that we are at like a 95 degrees. Now let's go around to the front and see how much we're getting. The hot spot here, about 59. So there is about, with the metal ring, it's about 95 degrees. I would not touch that at all. So do not put your hand down here. You will get burnt. But we're about 97, 98 degrees here. So that is very, 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 very interesting. So yes, it does get hot. The whole softbox is actually hot. Just feeling inside here, the cloth here is feeling a little bit hot. I can still put my hand on it, but it is very, very, very warm. But as far as the back, not too bad, not bad. I will tell you that the ball head is actually starting to heat up as well, but pretty good for an hour. So just be aware you do not want to keep this on for more than an hour because it's fairly hot. I have a feeling that this is eventually, if I left this on for 2-3 hours, it would melt. Okay, so here we are with the 44-inch ParaSnap, and as you can see, you can't see it on camera, but it is not filling the entire thing. I do have the center reflector on, and it's just, the light is just too small to fill out the entire, the entirety of a 44-inch softbox. Basically, you're getting a hot spot in the middle, but it is doing a decent job lighting Roxanne here. So yes, it does work, and the 44-inch does fit. Again, you are sort of stressing out the Bowen's mount, the really cheap rosette system here, but it seems to work. I wouldn't have a problem with this at all. But again, it's not going to fill a 44-inch softbox. You're going to want to go with like a 23-inch. That's probably the recommended. Okay, so here we are with the Aputure Light Dome Mini 2. We do not have any of the center filters in. And as you can see, once again, it works fairly well. Again, it's not filling up the entire thing. I mean, it looks like it is, but to my eye, it's still very spotty. I'm going to go ahead and put in the center. So here we are with the silver reflector in, and as you can see, I can see a shadow of the silver reflector. You can't see it on camera, but hopefully it is pounding a little bit more light into this. So there you go. There's the 23-inch softbox, and as you can see, that is doing an okay job. You're getting a little light leakage. That's just because the light dome is a little rough to use. There we go. And that's pretty much the job that it's doing. Not bad, not bad at all. I would definitely use a 23-inch. I wouldn't go up to a 44-inch. It does work, but again, this is only a 100-watt light. Okay, so here we are, and we are using the small rig battery. This does have that special, let me show you this, does have that special power delivery system in both the Type A and Type C. I'm not really sure what that's called. Let me know in the notes below. I know it gives like some kind of extra, I don't really know what it does, but it is what they call, it gives it like a power delivery. Now let's go ahead and grab a USB Type C, and let's go ahead and plug in the USB C to C here. And that's plugged in. Let's turn this thing on. We'll readjust the camera a bit. And as you can see, it does turn on. There's not a problem here. That works just fine. Here we are with the C to A. I think this is 2.0 or 3.0. I'm not really sure. Don't know what the difference is, but it should work. We plug that into the A and this into the C. And let's go ahead and power this on. And as you can see, not a problem. It does take a little bit longer to turn on. Sometimes it doesn't go on. There we go. That is a little bit weird that I have to like tap it or like adjust a few things and then eventually it'll go on. So not the best going from A to C, but it does work. And again, you jiggle this, it's not going to go out. So, and the same with the C to C. Now we're here with our standard barrel to D-tap, and let's go ahead and throw that in, pop that in the barrel plug, and we'll hit the power button here. And as you can see, the screen goes on, it goes on, but the minute I start messing with this, see, it just goes off. I can't get it to go back on, so, and it's just gonna flick on and flick off like this. So there's just not enough power going through the D to actually power this through the barrel plug. So that is a major, major, major negative here. Now here we are with a 20,000 milliamp power pack. This unfortunately is an older one, so it does not have that power delivery system. And again, you're going to see that your older power packs are also not going to work. It will power on the screen here, but as you can see, there's no light coming out of this. So that is something to be aware of, is that you will definitely need to have something that has this additional power system. I think it's usually orange on most devices, but you will have to have something that's new and that's special that will power this. So there you go. That is using this with a battery. Okay, so let's talk about where I land on this. This product was almost a red flag for me. I've only ever red flagged one other product. I'm not going to link to it because I don't want you to buy it. But this came very close. Now, one thing I will say is I would avoid using the micro softbox with this. You know, when you have such a small space and a lot of heat building up, this thing got very hot. Not the unit, but the softbox itself. The fabric felt very, very warm. Yes, I know it's temperature treated. I know it's probably not going to catch fire, but I do not want to find out. The ring, when I took it off, I measured it at 92 degrees in about half an hour, actually a little less than a half an hour. It could have burned me had I picked it up and grabbed it like that. So again, use caution, use common sense. I would avoid putting any kind of small modifiers or gels near this, especially if you're going to put on the dish and you decide that you want to gel this. Do not gel it like that. Your gels will melt. Make sure you have a little breathing room with your gels and diffusion. And even then, I might just consider putting it in a frame and shoot it, or putting it out in front and shooting it through, not having it against the dish because the dish is also going to get warm as well. So that is a huge negative for me with that. Again, another negative are these little tiny tabs here. Again, the same as the 60. Not crazy about those, but they are what they are. Now, let's talk about the controls. They are a little bit slow. You can't just whip to them. Sometimes you'll do this and it'll do nothing. Same with pressing in the buttons. You can't press it too fast. It has to be solid clicks. And again, with the brightness, you don't have the 20, 40, 60, 80. It's just 0, 50, and 100. And same with the brightness. It's 2700 Kelvin, 5500 Kelvin, and 6500 Kelvin. I would have loved to have had a 3200 Kelvin in there. But there you go, such is life. Yes, there is a studio mode in there. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But let's continue on and talk about power delivery. This will not work with your standard V-mount battery. If you have a D-tap to barrel plug, it's not going to work. This is 24 volts, which means that there's just not enough power going through this cable. It's going to flick on, flick off, flick on, flick off. I've had two models and they both have done the same thing. You are going to need a V-mount battery or a power pack with what they call PD charging a PD charge. That means it's like a PD. It's a special kind of like power delivery through USB. So you will need something like the small rig battery. Even my 20,000 milliamp old style power pack, again, it doesn't have the PD charge delivery, so this is useless. So if you want to power this without their proprietary battery or without plugging it in, you are going to need to factor in the price of a way to power it. So keep that in mind. And scooting over to power, this does not come with any kind of like hang it babadoodle, something to hang it by. It does not come with any kind of strap, so you will have to create your own kind of strap to hang this from the light, which is, again, kind of a downside. I really wish they had like one of those V-mount cradles, or at least given us some kind of metal cable to hang it by. Unfortunately, they did not give us anything here. So it does come with a bag, and I guess you could slide this in the bag and hang the bag from your light stand. You know, this little this little bag here, you could just slide it in, and it is mesh, so it is, and then you could hang this. But again, it seems a little sloppy. So there you go, there you have it. And again, let me talk about a safety warning. Be careful when you turn this off. Do not pick it up like this. Yes, there is a reason why there's so many fire warnings all over it, and rightly so, because if you were to grab it like this, you are going to burn your hand. Another thing I dislike about this is the fact that you have all these little rubber things blocking everything. Yes, I know it's for safety and waterproof and water protection and things like that. I will, if I kept this, I would most likely rip these off immediately, like I did on my Blackmagic. They are just super annoying to have on. I get why they're there. I would definitely keep this one on for their proprietary battery, since I have no desire to buy their proprietary battery. Their proprietary battery only lasts 30 minutes. Yes, it's cool that it clips on, and it's kind of like, and you can, and it's kind of like a handle. I would highly suggest, again, getting a V-mount with PD charge or a power pack over getting something that's only going to last you a short time. Now, let's talk about the pros. Yes, this thing delivers on what it is. It is small, compact. The light output is pretty impressive for something this small. The fan is incredibly quiet, which is very, very, very impressive. It does have a nice range of light. It does have a nice range, a range that dims from 0 to 100. Yes, there is a studio mode in here. Kudos for them for giving that to us. While this mount is a little bit tight on this, I think it's just because it's new. Yes, you can put a 44-inch ParaSnap, Bowens mount ParaSnap on it. I would not recommend it because the light does not fill the entire 44 inches. I would stick to maybe a Light Dome Mini. I believe that's like 23 inches. But that seems to be better and give you a better quality of light. But yes, you can stick a bigger modifier on it. Again, keep in mind this is only 100 watts, so you're not, once you start diffusing that, then you're getting less and less and less and less. So keep that in mind. All in all, I'm pretty impressed with the way that they have built this. When it does get warm, the back did not get hot at all. The only thing that really got hot was the COB and the metal ring in this. Temperatures were around 40, 50 degrees after a half an hour when I tested the back and when I tested all the plastic around it. Nothing really got so hot that I felt like my head, like it was going to melt. Again, I would be careful with gels. If you're going to use the dish or really put any gels in front of this, I would make sure that you create some space with the gel. Don't mount it like that, or you will, your gels will catch fire and or melt. And even a stronger recommendation is maybe use a bigger gel or diffusion and get it away from the light itself, so you will not run the risk of causing a fire. Also, be careful where you put this. Do not put it next to any fabrics or walls, anything too close. Do not have it pointing at a wall or anything cloth for a long extended period of time. Be very careful. There are fire warnings all over this thing for a reason. Time will tell to see what happens, how careless people can be, and how this thing can set fires. Yeah, so I'll be honest, this thing kind of scares me. I most likely will not be keeping it in my studio until they can assure me that nothing is really going to set fire. There are a lot of like, do not grab it like this warnings, and a lot of like, be careful where you put it because it could start a fire. I mean, yes, the same could be said for really any kind of light, but this one in particular makes me very nervous. Which is unfortunate because I really love how compact it is. But with that compactness does come some safety concerns for me personally. Maybe not you, but for me personally. So that's it. Those are my thoughts, but I want to know yours. So leave your questions and comments in the notes below. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to mash the bell button to be notified when we drop a brand new video. And feel free to use the links below as it helps out the channel. I'm Stephen Michael Zach, and this is New to Me.